Have you ever really looked at a $1 bill? Really looked at it? We handle them almost every day, but most of us never stop to notice the intricate details printed on them. At first glance, it might seem like a simple design, but the truth is, every single symbol on this piece of paper was deliberately chosen to tell the story of America's origins, its values, and its identity. When you hold a dollar, you're holding more than just money. You're holding a piece of history, philosophy, and national purpose. The dollar's design was created when the United States was a brand new country, trying to define itself and what it stood for. That's why you see this fascinating mix of classical imagery, Latin phrases, and national symbols. Nothing is random. Every pattern, every number, and every icon reflects how the earliest American leaders wanted their nation to be seen. They wanted to inspire a sense of trust, stability, and unity every time someone used the currency that represented this new republic. One of the most famous symbols on the dollar is the Great Seal. On one side, you have the American bald eagle, a powerful bird representing freedom, confidence, and national strength. But this eagle isn't just for decoration. Every part of it has meaning. In one talon, it clutches an olive branch, which stands for peace and the desire to resolve conflicts without violence. In the other talon, it holds a bundle of arrows, symbolizing defense and a readiness to protect the country if needed. Notice how the eagle's head is turned toward the olive branch. This sends a clear message: the United States prefers peace, but is always prepared to defend itself. Even the shield on the eagle's chest tells a story. It has vertical stripes with no support underneath, representing the idea that the nation stands on its own, relying on the unity of its states rather than any outside power. The horizontal bar at the top symbolizes the federal government holding the states together. It's a powerful image of self-reliance and collective strength. Now, let's flip to the other side of the Great Seal, the part that has sparked so much curiosity over the years. The unfinished pyramid topped with a single watchful eye. Why a pyramid? Back in the 1700s, pyramids were seen as symbols of endurance, structure, and long-lasting stability. The United States was a young nation, and its founders wanted to convey that it was built on strong foundations but was still a work in progress. That's why the pyramid is unfinished. It suggests that America is a nation that is always growing, improving, and building toward a better future. If you count the steps of the pyramid, you'll find there are 13. This number represents the original 13 colonies that united to form the country. In fact, the number 13 appears all over the dollar bill, a constant nod to the nation's origins. Above the pyramid floats the Eye of Providence. This symbol wasn't invented for the dollar. It was a classical symbol used in art for centuries to represent divine guidance, wisdom, and moral direction. On the dollar, the eye symbolizes clarity of vision and the belief that the nation should be guided by principles of justice and integrity. The rays of light surrounding it represent enlightenment, a key philosophical movement that deeply influenced America's founders who valued reason, education, and knowledge. Below the pyramid, you'll find the Latin phrase Novus Ordo Seclorum, which translates to a new order of the ages. This bold statement was chosen to mark the beginning of a new era in history with the American Declaration of Independence in 1776. It's a message of optimism, signaling the start of a new chapter of liberty. Above the eye is another Latin phrase, Annuit Coeptis, meaning he has favored our undertakings. This expresses a sense of divine hope and confidence in the young nation's journey. Another famous motto on the dollar is E Pluribus Unum, which means out of many, one. This was one of the very first mottos of the United States, reflecting the idea of uniting many different states, people, and cultures into a single, cohesive nation. It was a powerful message in the 18th century, and it remains just as meaningful today. The founders wanted the currency to constantly remind everyone that the country's strength is found in its unity. You'll find this phrase on a scroll held in the eagle's beak. As I mentioned, the number 13 is everywhere. The olive branch has 13 leaves and 13 olives. There are 13 arrows in the eagle's other talon. The shield has 13 vertical stripes, and the cluster of stars above the eagle contains 13 stars, arranged in a pattern that forms a larger, six-pointed star, symbolizing harmony. The repetition of this number was a deliberate choice to keep the story of America's beginnings alive, a constant reminder of unity, resilience, and shared purpose. Let's not forget the man on the front, George Washington. Placing the first president on the most commonly used bill was a way to honor his leadership during the Revolutionary War and his role in guiding the new nation. The portrait itself was based on paintings from his lifetime to ensure it was a respectful and accurate likeness. His presence is a daily reminder of the values he stood for: strength, integrity, and unity. The intricate border around his portrait isn't just for looks. It also served as an early anti-counterfeiting measure. And why green? The specific green ink used on the back of the dollar was originally chosen in the 1860s because it was resistant to fading and chemical alteration, making it very durable over time. That color became so linked with U.S. money that it earned the nickname greenback. This consistency in color has helped make the dollar instantly recognizable worldwide. The entire layout was designed for balance and visual harmony. The circular frames around both sides of the Great Seal make them look like official stamps, reinforcing the currency's authority. The symmetry of the design creates a feeling of order and stability, which is exactly what you want your money to project. Even the things that seem random, like the serial numbers, are part of a complex system. They are unique identifiers that help the Treasury Department track authenticity. The small letter and number code on the left side indicates which of the 12 Federal Reserve banks issued the note. It's all part of a sophisticated security system. Over the centuries, the dollar's design has remained remarkably consistent. This continuity creates a deep historical connection, making the currency feel like more than just a tool for transactions. It carries the story of a nation built on ideals of unity, resilience, and progress. It reminds us that symbols matter, and the choices made by the early designers still speak to us today, hundreds of years later. So, the next time you have a dollar bill in your hand, take a moment to really look at it. You'll see it's not just a random collection of images. It's a carefully crafted document filled with layers of history and meaning. From the eagle and the pyramid to the Latin phrases and the number 13, every element tells a story of unity, strength, and the optimistic belief that a nation can always keep building toward a better future. The US dollar is far more than just currency. It's a message, it's art, and it's history, all preserved in ink and paper. Thanks for watching. If you found this as fascinating as I do, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind everyday things. See you next time.